Hello everybody. In this screencast we're going to look at something called the backstack. So the backstack enables you to keep the history of the previous fragments. So it's basically, as the name implies, is a backstack. So basically as you go forward you push the fragments into the stack, and then when you click on the back button the fragments are pulled out of the stack. So it's like going back through these fragments. We'll look at how to do that. So before we start, we'll go back to the first fragment, the second fragment, and third fragment example, which is very straightforward. So when you run it, you'll see that in the activity we have these three buttons. These are the three buttons in the activity: first, second, and third. And basically when you press on them, we want to actually replace whatever fragment is on the screen with the first, second, and third respectively. So basically I'll do here replace. So I'm going to replace it with the first fragment when you press the first button, and I'm going to replace it with the second fragment, and I'm going to replace it with the third fragment. And basically that is the example we used before. And basically what's going to happen is that when you click on first, it replaces whatever you have here with first, and then second replaces with second, and third replaces with third, and so on, right? Now notice something: because I'm just replacing, when I click on the back button, the app is destroyed, right? The app actually disappears. So now when we run this app, what I want to do is, whenever I'm replacing, I want to keep the history of these fragments, push them on the stack, so that when I go back, I just want to go back to the previous fragment that was pushed on the stack. So to do that is very straightforward. Again, after you replace, you say add to backstack, and then you give the backstack name, which is the default one, which is null. So basically you add to backstack after you replace, and do the same thing here, and do the same thing here. So notice what's going to happen now. So when you run it, okay, the first fragment, we go to the second fragment, and we go to the third fragment, and let's go back to the first fragment. Okay, so now we started with red, first, second, third, and then first again, right? So now when I click on the back button, you'll see what's going to happen. It goes back to the third fragment. I go back again. It goes to the second fragment. When I click on back again, it goes to the first fragment. Now the stack is empty, right? When I click on back, it kills the app. So you see, this is a very simple way of managing these fragments. So you could go back. So this is navigation. So you have, for example, the first screen, you navigate to the second screen, and when you click on back, you want to go back to the previous screen. And you do that through the backstack. And basically it's very straightforward. You just add to the backstack, and by adding to the backstack, which is null, and if you really want to intentionally pop something from the backstack, you could say fragment manager.pop backstack. So basically there is also get fragment manager, and if you want to programmatically do it, there is pop backstack. Okay, so that's basically the idea of a backstack. Very simple, and basically it just pushes the fragments onto a stack, and then when you click on the back button, the default implementation is that it goes to the backstack, checks to see if the backstack is empty or no. If it's not empty, it pops one out. If it's empty, it finishes them. All right, please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.